This video is going to contain lots of little bits because I've been busy over the last couple of weeks. As you can see, my moon visor's on. I can't remember where I got that from. I think it was LG Truck or whatever they are called. Bit of a pain in the ass to get fitted. It's pretty close, there's a couple of small gaps. But other than that, it's not too bad. I like it. Next thing in here, the vintage air system. This pipe here, which goes up to your necker duct on the front window, or your demist duct. When you turn the wiper arm on, this wiper arm drops down, and it's been hitting on that pipe. So you'll see that that's all bent out of shape. What I basically did is I got a battery terminal hold down, so that's just screwed into the lower part of the chassis. I'm going to trim the bottom off that bolt. Comes up, bends across, and I've got a couple of cable ties. Now it doesn't touch. Pardon me, sorry, I've had a few drinks. So yeah, that works. I've marked out where I need to cut the hole to mount this. And that's going to be on this side, about the same distance away from this center as that key is. Hopefully I'll get onto that one in the coming week. And then once that's all done, I can mount the back of that. Oh, speaking of that, we scored this little ABS relay here. Obviously my truck's not going to have ABS, but it has a normally open, normally closed relay for the ABS controller off an A111 Toyota. And then I just wired up a second one in here, which is only a normal open switches to closed relay. So that is going to be the relay block for my fan controller, which is going to sit just here on this side. I'm just going to trim this down, basically mount it the same as what I did that fuse block there from my Holden Commodore, but it'll be on the other side over there to even out the engine bay. And then that will control, somewhere here I've got a wiring diagram. Pause. Yep, so somewhere here we have a wiring diagram which comes down off the computer. It's a hybrid VT Commodore wiring relay setup, trinary switch and PCM controlling two fans with two speeds, which is basically what I have. And I've tested it basically, and now I've just got to finish it off. What else have we got here? Oh, water piping. So all my water piping's done. So I got the vintage air bypass in and the right angle pipe, so that's all the factory Commodore outlet stuff. I bought that pipe in from Vintage Air, which comes up to the H bypass. So water comes out of the thermostat along to here. When that is shut, bypasses up, feeds back down to the engine. When it's open, feeds into the controller, into the core, and back out to the engine. Should work a treat. Oh, why are we going out of focus there? Done a few other bits and pieces as well. Just finished buttoning up the front grille, tested all the park and indicator lights work. I've got the rebuilt headlight buckets over on the back of the shed. I'll show you those in a minute. They're pretty trick. You can see a plastic tube, maybe, down there. That's my remote CPP brake reservoir. Speaking of, while we're down there, so you can't really see it, but my underbody brake booster has now got a remote CPP filler, and we've mounted the ECU. So that's on the chassis rail, between the side step and the chassis rail on the driver's side. and it all sits above the gearbox crossmember. So any bangs is going to happen here, not there. I'm still probably just going to run a little splash guard down in here anyway, even though these things are weatherproof. Oh yeah, finally got around to mounting my traction control and my power buttons. That's where I'm going to have them. The power eco controls the transmission, so on this side's my transmission shift, and that's why I wanted that there, so that'll switch between power eco. Just supplies a temporary earth signal to the ECU. I've already tested that in another video, and I've just got my friend to send me another little controller, like that one down there, for the traction control. And what that one's going to do is when I push that, it will supply a solid earth for 5 minutes to the ECU, which I'm going to wire up to the traction control system and use it to retard the timing so I can put possibly NOS on at a later stage. That's my dash, still got the plastic cover. That's all fitted up again because I finally got around to running the wires for the oil temp and the water pressure. My drive shaft is in. My one-piece drive shaft, I've been told it's good to, I don't know, was it 7,000 RPM or 6,800 RPM and about 650 horsepower, so should be fine. What else have we done? Oh yeah, the headlight buckets. So I've just finished rebuilding the headlight buckets. They can't go on because I haven't got the guards on, but they're all sitting here ready to go in. All new little clips and retaining rings and the spread buckets, etc. What else have we got on my list of things here? Rebuild the headlamps. Oh, yeah, front wiring, so that's about it. Oh, my roof lining. Now that is a mission. I don't know whether it's because I've had to skin it or what, but it was almost impossible to get this rubber up in between the roof skin and the inner panels, especially on the corners. So yeah, I've still got to struggle to get that in, but at least all the rubber is finally in. And I think that's about all I've got to update. Like I said, lots of little stuff, and it's slowly all coming together. And my door pods still haven't been covered. Oh, and there's the remote filler. So what I'm working on there is just a template. I don't like how close that sits to the firewall and to the exhaust manifold, so I want to make up a little shield, a heat shield, to go around it. So that'll be down in there, and like there's the exhaust. It's not even like 150 mil away, so I just want to try and give it some sort of an aluminium heat shield to keep the heat off it and make the brake fluid not get so hot so fast. So yeah, that's where we're up to. If I don't have another video before Christmas, have a good Christmas.